Good evening, good evening. One thing that Mr. Grunsfelder did not, or he neglected to tell you guys, is that our girls soccer team is actually working on our 4th state championship of this year. Our girls volleyball, girls flag football, and girls soccer have already won state championships this year. So, all right, good evening. Tonight I will briefly review our school day, attendance expectations, cell phone policy, dress code, extracurricular involvement, and the parent-student handbook. So you know, our school day begins every day at 8:10. Not 8:15. A couple current students in here. 8:10. 8:10. At 8:10, we will start with a pledge, and then we go into a prayer. We want the students to be in their classrooms for that time. That is important, okay? Because then if not, they get tardy, so we'll talk about that in a second. So our school day ends at 2:30 p.m. Though there are occasionally early and late starts, and you'll see those on the schedule, that they're reflected on our calendar. Attendance is paramount at South Point. We can do magic, but we can only do it if you're here. If you have a way to figure out how to educate kids and have them do well and not be here, let me know. We can write a book together. We'll all be millionaires. Okay? But I haven't figured it out in almost 30 years in education. We need your kids here. It is important that they are here every single day. And that they're not just here, but they are engaged in what we are doing. So because we operate on a block schedule, missing one day means missing a significant amount of time. It's almost like missing 2, sometimes 3. Being a Lancer requires commitment, not just commitment from the individual, but a family commitment. It is a commitment, missing one day means a significant amount of instruction. Being a Lancer requires commitment to consistent attendance. A student is marked absent if they are not present or arrive more than 15 minutes late to class. That's actually generous time. They have 10-minute passing periods. They should be on time to class. If attendance becomes excessive, the following steps will occur. Okay? 4 absences, an official email from one of the deans. 6 absences, a phone call from the deans. 8 absences, a mandatory meeting with me here in school, and we'll have a conversation on how we can get your student here on time every single day, and to stay the entire day, because early dismissals are the same thing. We need your kid here all day, 8:10 to 2:30. And then at that point, we will also discuss what we call an improvement plan. And we'll go over that plan at that time about the steps we can take to ensure success. Students are permitted 8 absences per classes per semester. All absences count towards this total. Exceeding 8 absences may result in loss of credit and require remediation to remain enrolled at South Point. Mrs. Jones just spoke about that. That's one of the things we are very, very serious on, especially for our freshmen and sophomore. We need to make sure we get a handle on this early on. So if a change needs to be made, we can be honest with one another and make that change so your child still has enough time to go to a school, be successful, engage in programs and activities, and have a good high school career. But we need to start immediately. Like Ms. Jones said, grades count now. So at 8, exceeding 8, we'll put on a plan if we go that, or they can lose credit in that class. So I want to say that again. Cell phones. Regarding cell phones, there are no cell phones from 8:10 to 2:30 at all. Cell phones must be powered off and started back up. Don't thank me, thank our leaders, Ms. Martin and Ms. Harris, for doing that. I'm just the one who's got to make it happen. But we have found at the end of the day, we had a previous rule where they had to put them away in classes anyway. So now it's passing periods, lunches, and that extra 80, 90 minutes, we have found to be impactful to not have their phones. There are times where we allow them, today was the first day during field day, we allowed them they earned their phone back. And we gave them their phone so they can have it out there, so they can take pictures and have that time to be social with their friends. Also so they can pay for stuff too, because that's how we pay for things, because everything goes to the phone now. So they needed their phone, but that was something that they earned back. But we do have a cell phone ban, and we appreciate and expect you to help us enforce that ban. So, smartwatches, AirPods, wireless earbuds, smart glasses, and other Bluetooth devices are not permitted. Wired earbuds may only be used when directed by a teacher. If a student uses or possesses a phone during class, they will receive an automatic 0 on the assignment, quiz, or test in progress. it is going to be deemed an academic integrity issue. They shouldn't be using it in class. The administration reserves the right to search or confiscate devices when policy violations are suspected. There are many things we'll make your kid turn in their phone every day if we have to, just to make sure. We don't want to go through all that. Our expectation is keep the phone in their bags and pull it out at 2:30. Dress code is a huge part of our commitment, is the commitment you made at enrolling at South Point. We believe dress code is integral to what we do here. I'm a parent. I love the dress code. That's part of the culture that I want my kid to experience. It promotes dignity, unity, professionalism, and focused academic environment. Students out of dress code will receive an infraction and must change. Student services provides clothing for the day if needed. The deans will interpret proper attire. And while I'm here, let me take a moment to introduce our wonderful, wonderful deans. First off, we have Coach Pat Ryden over there. He's our men's dean. And our new women's dean is Miss Vanessa Sturba next to him. So it's their job to interpret dress code. Dress code every day, it's online, we expect kids to come in dress code. We come in dress code. Wearing the ID is part of dress code. I have an ID, I have 4 IDs like the kids. Some of them have 7, 8 IDs. This is part of dress code. Appropriate shaving, no earrings, things like that are part of dress code. Please review it. If you have questions, call me. I will be more than happy to walk you through it so you can understand why it is important, why are we enforcing it. Because I don't want to bother you next year at work over something. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm being bothered. Yeah, I'm going to bother you to come get your kid or do something because we cannot allow them to be in class when they are out of policy. That's a problem. That's against our culture. So we're going to do something about that. So, the fun stuff that I get to do with my job. Extracurricular involvement is a hallmark of South Point experience. We encourage every student to participate in at least one non-academic activity, whether athletics, clubs, or service. My son was one of the kids running around with your kids tonight. He is one of our Lancer leaders. He also gets to run UConn. He also is an athlete. He's had a great experience while he's been here. He's the reason I'm here. It's been the best experience of his life. Academics is a huge part of that, but all the other things that South Point offers is why we're here. And so while academics remain a priority, a South Point experience includes engagement beyond the classroom. Finally, the parent-student handbook is available online and must be reviewed carefully, not just by you, but by your students. Updates will be made this year throughout the summer. It is important that families are familiar with the policies regarding absences, drug testing, dances, parking, and more. Did I go through it? I want to make sure I went through everything. All right, I think I did. Ms. Martin, you're back up.